Dobro Jutro, Divine Pisces 222. It is Friday. Yay, Friday. Friday, December 20th, 2019. I'm going to do an energy check-in for the Twin Flames today. See what's going on there. And honestly, I'm pretty sure for the mini reading thing that I'm doing, the private event, I think I'm actually going to do it Sunday night. Just so you guys are aware, but I'll let you know final decision by tomorrow. I'll just post it on my community tab for you guys. I still have a couple of spots left open for this weekend, so if you're interested, just send me an email and we'll get it figured out for you. So the first card we've got out, okay, Jupiter. So Divine Masculine, I do feel a lot of Divine Masculine's kind of hitting some more towers right now. But I feel a transformation happening, a shift. We're still kind of in this shifted energy here with Divine Masculine. A lot of transformations happening with them, a lot of new perspectives happening with them, awakenings are intensifying. I do feel little bit of dark night of the soul still kind of coming in here. Not as bad as it was, though. I do feel they are emerging from that, but there's still some darkness that needs to be addressed, okay? Some karma and whatnot, inner child wounds, that sort of thing. Same old story, different day, that sort of thing. But I'm also feeling that, and I said this before, that 2020 is going to be a very transformative year for a lot of people. So I do feel 2020, there's going to be a lot of growth in some of these connections. Most of them, I do feel a lot of growth with Divine Masculine and his awakening, and a lot going on with Divine Feminine and mission and whatnot. So I do feel that coming for a lot of twins, okay? Maybe feeling the pull today. I do feel heart chakras are still opening, especially for Divine Masculine right now. It's kind of been a slow process. They've been trying to block it out for a long time. But those heart chakras are opening right now, okay? So there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of emotion in the air. There's a lot of purging. I'm also just feeling, just in general, like this whole unconditional love aspect. It kind of brings that peace, that calm, that comfort. So I am kind of feeling that today. So focus on that, Divine Feminine especially, and Divine Masculine, which I know some Divine Masculines do watch my channel. Just if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling emotions kind of coming out of nowhere, that sort of thing, take a moment, center yourself, evaluate why you're feeling that way. And twins in general, you feel they're feeling it from each other, so it is going back and forth right now. There are a lot of triggers that are going back and forth, still some insecurities coming through, but slowly just starting to release control, little bit by little bit by little bit. Okay, and it's like that's what the towers are for. The towers are coming in to help the twins release control, release control, release control. And it's happening little bit by little bit. So you may be feeling a little lighter today. Maybe you don't feel like there's as much weight on your shoulders today because you've just kind of given it up to Source. You've just kind of released the expectations of the situation, trying to release control. So you may feel a little bit lighter today. That's for both twins, I do feel, not just Divine Feminine. But still a lot of sexual energy going back and forth. Really, really intense, I do feel. A lot of triggers still going back and forth. But just a lot of, this need to move. There's a lot of movement happening here. A lot of movement. In the connections, yes, but I just feel in general, with the twins themselves, moving in a new direction, wanting to choose a new path, that motivation to want to change where they're at now, basically. Not liking where they're at now and wanting to change. And of course we got Gemini again, so that's interesting. A lot of repeat cards today. But yeah, I feel, again, the energy between the twins, I do feel, is very strong today. Again, a lot of emotion probably coming up. There could be triggers with this as well. Maybe some communication, I do feel, coming through for some of you. Could be hot and cold, though, so just keep that in mind. But again, some indecision still in the air. But again, the release of control, I do feel, is happening with that too. So it's like indecision, yes, but it's almost like, okay, well, I'm just gonna not think about it. I'm just gonna let things unfold the way that they should, you know, and not make any rash decisions. Which, I mean, you know, is a way of basically surrendering, right? Trying not to control too much of what's happening because you realize you can't, right? So you're just kind of like, all right, well, I guess I can't do anything about it, so I'm just going to give it up to the universe, right? That's the first step of surrender. It's just saying, screw it, right? So Divine Masculine, yeah, cycles are ending with Divine Masculine, definitely, and this has been happening for a while. It's been in the making for a while. A lot of Divine Masculines, again, there could be projecting some emotion because of this, and it could be, you know, guilt, resentment, fear, that sort of thing. But I'm also feeling a sense of relief coming from Divine Masculine. There's a huge sense of relief. Like I was saying, like some of you may not be feeling like there's as much weight on your shoulders right now because you're just kind of releasing it. You're just like, whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera, right? So I do feel Divine Masculine kind of in that energy right now. Just kind of saying, whatever. And releasing some of that. But I just still feel a lot of hurt coming in, a lot of heartache coming in, you know, and that's to be expected, you know, especially with change, especially with ending of cycles, depending on the cycle, of course, but most cycles that are repeating over and over again, you know, it's hard to break those. So there are going to be emotions that come in with that, right? So yeah, I do feel Divine Masculine very much in his emotions today, probably very much in his head today about his emotions too. Not really quite sure why he's feeling that way, or maybe he's denying the emotion, or he's just like, what is this? I've never felt this before, that sort of thing. So I do feel Divine Masculine very much in his head about emotions today, okay? Not just towards Divine Feminine, but I just feel in general. Like, so about these emotions that are coming up, the ending of cycles and things like that, so some of them probably are feeling emotions that they didn't even know they had. Right? Besides anger, because most Divine Masculines, when they express any sort of emotion, it usually comes off as anger. Because they don't know how to release it any other way. So it's just like, oh, what is this? How do I release this? You know, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just driving it home here, guys. Ending of cycles definitely happening. Divine Masculine is trying to cut away the things in his life that no longer serve him. And if he wasn't working on actively doing that, the universe is doing it for him. So taking away the things that no longer are serving him so he can ascend and he can move on in the journey. And basically embrace that new beginning that he's been wanting. I do feel a lot of Divine Masculines are very, very in their heads about new beginnings right now. Wanting a new beginning, wanting a change, wanting something different, not wanting to be stuck where they're stuck right now. They just don't want to, right? They're in their heads about the connection, trying to end cycles, you know, within the connection itself too. So codependency, obsession, you know, player energy kind of coming in today, but it's almost kind of triggering in a way as well. And again, I do feel Divine Masculine's kind of in his head about catalyst moment. Sorry, I have no idea what the heck that was. In their heads about the catalyst moment as well, within the connection too. So very much in their heads about that. Probably replaying some things, maybe some conversations that you've had, maybe some things that you've said. They're replaying those things, and it's starting to kind of fall together, seeing synchronicities with it, signs, and that sort of thing. So they're very nostalgic right now. Very nostalgic. I'm getting shared dreaming too. So if you've had, you know, really intense dreams with your counterpart, they're having them too. All right. So just keep that in mind. They probably won't come forward and tell you that, but there is shared dreaming happening right now. And I feel that 5D connection has been just like increasing over time. I feel with a lot of twins right now. So, and you may be aware of that. You're probably, yeah, I'm definitely getting really strong telepathic communication right now. To the point it might freak you out. So keep that in mind. Also getting inner child wounds too, of course. You know, inner child wounds are surfacing right now, so definitely want to work on that. Some insecurities here, but Divine Masculine, definitely wanting to come forward and offer that cup, man. He's got to fill it first. Cup's empty right now, but he's trying to fill it. He's trying to figure it out. Trying to kind of go around. Some of them are just trying to suppress it. They're trying to deny it with themselves right now. But it's not going to work. It never does. But I do feel some of them are still dealing with some manipulation in their karmic situations, still dealing with some resistance within that, but I also feel that they are seeing Divine Feminine as Queen of Swords right now. And Queen of Swords, you know, setting boundaries and working on her craft, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay, for Divine Feminine to be Queen of Swords, but just keep in mind that when you set those boundaries, to make sure that you're not in ego when you do it, okay, especially with your counterpart. If you're setting boundaries with your counterpart, make sure you're not in ego. As an example, if they block you, okay, if your first response when they block you is to block them back, that's ego. Okay? So keep that in mind. Try not to be in ego when you make decisions like that. Ask if it's for your highest good, and the divine will let you know if it is or not. Okay? Same goes with 5D communication. Like, if you're blocking 5D communication, you know, because they're not contacting you in the 3D or whatever, that's ego. It just is, okay? Now, if you're doing it because maybe it hurts you, maybe it's not for your highest good right now, maybe it's triggering you or something like that, then that's something else, right? So you have to evaluate that. So Divine Feminine, yeah. Divine Feminine definitely feeling the sexual energy here. But as far as new beginnings go, I do feel, yeah, Divine Feminine definitely finding a renewed passion for herself and her new beginning and really embracing what's coming. And Divine Feminine, for the most part, has pretty much just given it up at this point. Just like, all right, things just keep coming, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, the blessings are just coming, so I guess I'm doing something right, right? So Divine Feminine is definitely very passionate about what's happening with her right now, and I feel a lot of change happening. A lot of change happening. With Divine Feminine, ending of cycles, new beginnings, abundance, inspiration, motivation, that sort of thing. All of these good things kind of coming in for Divine Feminine, you know. So, and these are helping her endings and cycles, right? Codependent cycles, financial issues, things like that. Things that she's been clinging to for a long time because of security or, you know, feeling like she can't move, or, you know, because she is financially codependent. You know, there are some Divine Feminines out there who have been dependent. Not just codependent, but dependent for a very long time on a karmic partner, okay? And so they're stepping into their own. They're realizing that they don't have to do that. They don't have to be stuck somewhere, right? They can move on if they need to, or if they feel like it's for their highest good. And they are doing that, and they're making those decisions, and they're ending those cycles, right? And it's growing. It's getting more and more and more evident to Divine Feminine that she can, you know, move forward regardless, okay? And I feel like there are some Divine Feminines out there who are in regret right now because of these situations. Maybe they're feeling guilty. Maybe, you know, if they're trying to leave a karmic partner, or maybe that partner's making them feel guilty. Maybe family's making them feel guilty. Whatever it is, okay? Because, you know, especially when it comes to marriages and things like that, it's not just, you know, it's not just two people. There's, like, families involved usually, like, you know. So there's a lot of guilt there. There's a lot of regret there. So Divine Feminine, I do feel some of them are kind of feeling in this energy, and it's going back and forth too, okay, because it's mirrored. All right, so keep yourself grounded as much as you can, and just release it. Release it. Release the resentment. Release the response to feel guilty. Especially, you know, because you're trying to take care of yourself. You should never feel guilty about taking care of yourself, right? Because Divine Feminine recognizes the uneven exchanges that have happened for a long time. And this includes with Divine Masculine as well. You know, Divine Feminine's been doing the work. She's been putting in her time. She's been balancing her energies out. She's been, you know, ascending. She's been doing all of this work. You know, and a lot of Divine Masculines, they've been doing the work. They just don't realize they're doing it, you know, by way of towers and then all that. But a lot of them, you know, were sitting in denial for a long time, or they just weren't doing the work. They were just staying where they were, not wanting to leave that quote-unquote safe space, even though it was toxic. You know, so Divine Feminine's like, whatever, I'm moving on. And so, that being said, you know, the universe sees that. The universe sees the uneven exchange, okay, and is trying to even that out, Okay? And if it doesn't work, if Divine Masculine stays where he was, well then, something better is coming for Divine Feminine, and Divine Masculine is just going to have to, I guess, figure it out and maybe try again in another lifetime. Right? And if that happens, Divine Feminine, it's fine. Just, it is what it is, right? But yeah, Divine Feminine is really reaching for her goals here. Really, really embracing the journey as it's coming to her and just learning to release the expectations along the way and really coming into her own, really coming into her power. I feel a lot of Divine Feminines really, really embracing their intuition right now. Because I know there's some back and forth, there was some juggling with that, like, okay, well this, I'm not sure if this is right, my ego's telling me it's not right, I'm not sure if I'm not an ego, or, whatever. But Divine Feminine really learning what intuition is, and learning to trust it, and learning to follow it accordingly, and it's bringing in happiness, the good things, right? Bringing in that inner peace. And I feel like for the longest time, and this is very symbolic, especially for me, like Divine Feminine was in darkness for a long time. It was so cloudy. Everything was cloudy. Not seeing clearly, not understanding what was happening. But still doing the work anyway. Still doing it because that's, what her intuition was telling her to do and what Spirit was telling her to do. And now it's like Divine Feminine feels like the sun's shining again. Right? New beginnings. Right? Coming out of the darkness and into the light. Right? And staying in her bliss and raising her vibration not only, helps the journey, helps the connection, but helps her, right? All right, so let's get some messages from the counterparts. Yep. See? Transformation. Still a lot of regret coming in. There is stuff going on behind the scenes, Divine Feminine, just so you're aware, and you probably already know that. Alright, let's get some messages and advice. Source. Yeah. Yep. That's the point. That's the point. And Divine Feminine already knows this. Divine Masculine is learning this. They're getting this. That's what the towers are for. Towers are there to show them how to love themselves. And to show themselves grace, okay? And patience and understanding. And this is definitely a self-reflection period. I feel a lot of hermit mode coming in right now, okay? And like I said before, 2020 I do feel is going to be a very strong self-reflection year for a lot of people. A lot of people. So it's happening right now, and it's coming. So Divine Feminine, just keep doing what you're doing, okay? Self-reflection is a really good thing. If you need to take a time out to do that, just do it, okay? Set your boundaries and make sure that they're, for your highest good, and stay out of the ego as much as possible when you set these boundaries, okay? Because, Queen of Swords, it is literally a double-edged sword when you're that way, right? You're setting up boundaries, but at the same time you come off as a bitch, right? So, as I like resting Queen of Swords face. That's... Anyway, so yeah, release control. A lot of Divine Feminines are doing that. Divine Masculine is learning to do that, okay? It's little bit by little bit, but it's happening. So just keep releasing, release the expectations, keep moving forward. Sorry. Trust the path, trust the plan, everything is unfolding. Like, you're probably seeing things unfold in front of you as you're going. It's like you're literally learning as you go, which is the best way to learn, right? That's learning as you go brings back lasting results as far as I'm concerned. That's always how I've learned. And I enjoy learning that way, right? So surrender is coming for Divine Masculine. He's in that energy of wanting to just say, screw it, I'm done. Right? And Divine Feminine's been there for a while, but they're starting to catch up. Okay? So that gap is closing. The gap is closing. Just have patience, okay? I know. This seems to be the mantra for Divine Feminine these days, is patience. And actually, a long time ago, I'm talking probably 10 years ago, I had the revelation that my lesson in this lifetime is patience. Because I have none. I have none with myself. I have none with other people. Actually, let me rephrase that. I do have patience with people for the most part, as situations, things that involve me, no patience whatsoever. Right? So, Divine Feminine, just keep focusing on what you're doing, okay? You're doing a great job. Just keep focusing on yourself, trusting that intuition, setting your boundaries, purging as needed. You do need to come up for air every now and then, though, okay? So don't work yourself too much. Otherwise, that can actually have an adverse effect on you. If you're really, really drained and you're still doing the work and you find yourself just completely exhausted from it, take a break. Take a break. Give yourself some grace, okay? Alright, guys. I hope this has helped. If it has, please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.